Weird. Anyways. Maybe that'll eventually get fixed. I don't know. But I do know that we finally got maps. So let's talk about the maps real quick. As we finally have something new to talk about. Finally. We'll have something new to talk about in the map pool section of the DreamHack intro. Oh, boy. Alright, so. This is not accurate, first of all. So Beckett Industries is not part of the map pool, apparently. That's what people on Twitter have said. Like, admins. So not just random people. So I'm going to take their word for it. So it's not an 8-map map pool. Instead, it's going to be 2,000 Atmospheres, Blackburn, Grad, Curious Minds, Glittering Ashes, Hardwire, and Pride of Alteris. They also have some new maps for all the other team games, I think, but not for 4v4, from what I could tell. Yeah, I think that's the general overview. So I don't know what maps are new in the 2v2 or 3v3, but I think, yeah, I thought they were gonna get new maps. Well, it says new, so maybe not. Maybe these are all the old ones. I know there was some talk about 4v4 specifically, but maybe that was something different. So, poor team games. Feels bad, man. And also a bug. They typoed. The intern who wrote this at lunch doesn't have 100% accuracy. Anywho. Yeah, it said no 4-player maps got picked. Yeah, I know that was a conversation for the... whatchamacallit? That was a conversation people were having for the Team Liquid map contest. I'm gonna try and just find... Probably shouldn't be copying the new, honestly. Just gonna try and find all the maps. I know some people have... Ooh. Some people have found most of the maps. Pride of Alteris is actually not even... That's not even the map. It's just like the... There's like a mission campaign. Just the most recent one? Is it in here? May 21st, 2021. It's an Imgur album. Let's try and find it. I think I did see it. Thought I clicked on it. Map pool. Quick look at the new maps. There it is. Okay. So this is Grad. So 2-player. No ramp at the natural. Kind of 2 choices of a third base. Bit windy. Don't know how big the rush distance is on any of these maps, but I imagine most of them, if not all of them, are longer than Beckett. Nothing stands out to me. So, we're continuing the trend of not having Xel'Nagas. They're not going to be using any Bubulas. And I don't see any rich Vespian or rich minerals as well. The natural entrance is a bit... It is wide, but then they have, like, the entire high ground leading to your natural, I guess, is full of chokes and ramps. Seems it's a big main, but it's hard to tell. And it seems fairly choky in general. Like, I don't see a huge area for a big concave. And I don't see a really nice area to try and set up a surround. So it looks maybe like it's Terran favored. So you go down here. I guess Terrans would take this space, block off this side. Zergs might take... Oh. Well, if a Terran takes the triangle base... Doesn't really seem like that long of a path to any of the Zerg's third. This map looks small. Yeah. Well, I'm looking specifically at how you take your thirds. It feels like the thirds are getting really close to each other, so it can also just be a small map. So if you siege your tanks here, I wonder if it reaches over here. You know, I actually have Epic Pen. I'm gonna finally remember to use it for once. If they're discovering what the try-hard analysts were using on their streams. I was like, what are they using? Okay, so... Okay. So if you siege a tank here, does it shoot down here? Does it cover this position? Because if this is the third, that would kind of suck. Wow, I feel so fancy. I should get my Wacom tablet out and be super fancy. Maybe I should move my camera a little bit. Oh, did it ungroup when I transferred this stuff? Oh, man. Good enough. Hope you guys... Why don't you just siege by the minerals on the ramp? Do you mean over here? Because no player should ever let you siege over here. Jesus. If the Terran player sieges over here, I feel like you're already screwed. You're already fucked up somehow. And even like same here. Like I'm thinking specifically of TVZ because I think TVZ is the most map dependent. Oh, you mean here? Now that is a good point. That's a very good point. So if you siege up... Go away. I don't know everything. So if you siege up right here, it almost guarantees hits over here. So anything coming out. But then... I guess the Terran army would be here. Kind of covering it. I guess the nice thing about this, if a tank does get sieged, is that the army doesn't really do anything. You know what I mean? Like, the tank would be really bothersome, don't get me wrong. But the army doesn't threaten anything, because the army has to go this way or this way to threaten something. These are 100% the 1v1 ladder map pool. So, even though the tank is hitting lings, I mean, I think as long as they're not, like, actually killing banelings, then it's probably something that isn't really as abusive as it looks. They could just kill the rocks? I mean, yes, but they'd have to get on the rocks really early. Basically, like, ASAP. Which they might. They might do. But I think that's the one credit you can give the map maker, is that the tank might be annoying, the actual threatening is not so bad. I mean, you could probably... Later on in the game, I'd be a bit worried. Like, just in general, this is a choky map. I think we can 100% say that, right? It's a choky map. So, the Terran army comes down... Well, again, if they're taking this as their third. And... The Zerg third and fourth both look quite close. I mean, I'm not crazy, right? Whee. It does not look that long. Or more importantly, it doesn't look that long to the chokes. I'm a little sus on this one. Oh, maybe you can mine the minerals as a Zerg player. True. That still would be quite the choke, though. I feel like you'd almost want to do both right off the bat. But I think this might be a little sus for Zerg players. I don't know. I don't want to be too sympathetic to you guys. But there's a lot of chokes. I mean, scale could be very different than what we're trying to anticipate. Because maybe this is... Well, if this is 2 gateways... And a pylon. And his outlet. That's about the size of a standard wall off, right? Well, not, maybe not. Yeah, standard. I mean, called 2 building standard. So it looks like this natural choke is what I'm thinking of, what I'm expecting. 'Cause I feel like I can kind of guess what the rest of the map looks like. I don't know. I don't know. At the very least, I think there's a nice opportunity for run-bys. There's plenty of pathways that are going to be open. I guess you have to break down these rocks, though. I don't know if I like that one for Zerg. You guys might be having a tough time there. Alright, this is Curious Minds. Oh, okay. I like the aesthetic. It does seem a lot wider. It's definitely less claustrophobic. Again, it looks like no Xel'Nagas, no slow zones, no rich Vespian or minerals. Some of the doodads are a little confused. I mean, some of the doodads look like rich Vespian, but they're not. Yeah, okay. Okay. So if this is Terran, take their natural, and then... Taking your third is kind of hard. A Terran is not going to have that much problem, but a Protoss will. Let's make yellow Protoss. Yeah. It's going to be a bit difficult. Curious Minds will try to control both Xel'Naga towers. Where? Which doodad are the Xel'Naga towers? They might have gotten rid of them. Yeah, I see the green thing is like, oh, I mean, they definitely don't look like there's Xel'Naga towers. It's possible they got rid of them. I don't know if there's a... Oh, hold on. Maybe up here. Oh, I see it. I see it now. I get it. I see it now. There it is. Oh, there it is. Found him. Xel'Nagas. They're quite far away, though. Well, that's gonna see... I suppose there's like a paint tool. No, there's not. It's gonna see like what, this? Down lower. I mean, it's definitely not gonna help that much in the early game though. Especially when we consider, if we're talking about PvZ. So playlist, stream beats, chiptunes. But sticking on the first thing, right? So the Protoss has to either go down, or, I mean, it always has to go down a ramp. And then you go in the, over here or over here. I imagine they're not going to take the third that's concavable, but they do that on Light Shade sometimes. And then the Zerg... Yeah, the middle doesn't look passable, so... It's not going to be a Queen Walk map. So they took it away from their opponent. It'd be up here. And then if the Zerg wanted to push... Could go from the third. Around these doodads. Have 2 attacks. bit of a concave. Or they can attack. Are these impassable doodads? Is it like a maze? I have no idea. And that would attack only one area. Yeah, it doesn't seem... Well, I guess maybe if they set up a surround. Well, I'm gonna guess the Protoss takes the space. Alright, sight blockers. Oh, okay. But they're not impassable then. So Zerg could theoretically even take this as a third, be aggressive. Go through the Xel'Naga, which they're probably going to be in control of. But again, they'd have to set up a big concave. They have to set up 2 attacks preemptively. And that's fine. I think Protoss players have dealt with this type of stuff before. Where's the eraser? Eraser smart. Can we jump into the map? No. I don't... I'm not saying it's not a I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but one, I don't know if they're already available in the game. I assume they are, but I don't know if they're going to be the updated one that Blizzard usually does, even though Blizzard's not doing very much right now. And two, yeah, I'm just too lazy. I don't really want to start up a game and then play it and then look at the replay or have 2 AIs fight each other. Maybe later. And then they could... I mean, they could still attack from here. Seems like it's going to be very long, though. And they'd have to go through a sight blocker to get a concave. See any good proxy Stargate? I mean... Proxy Stargates are pretty self-explanatory, right? So if the Zerg's here, then a proxy Stargate's gonna go there. Or maybe they're so bold to go up here. That was PvZ. I mean, I still think that Protosses are not gonna necessarily love this map because of the third base where it is, but I think it has enough defensive properties to be fine. I think Protoss will... They'll suck it up. But if it's Terran... is there a benefit of taking a triangle as Terran? Versus Zerg? Again, assuming the Zerg takes the third far away. Or is this actually farther away? I'm a Terran, I take my base here. Go through these sight blockers. Maybe try and take the Xel'Naga. And then... If I... Yeah, this is a really surroundable area, so... Concave surrounds difficult. Not nearly as abusive as the last map. If I went up here, though... Could put tanks up here. Even up here. So I don't think the Zerg can take that base. So if the Zerg doesn't take that base, then I guess I'm trying to make a... I mean, they're going to take it as their 4th. Probably. So I could still push onto their 4th base. But if I did try and push this direction, it'd have to be through here. I don't think I'd want to put myself in this position. Seems alright. I don't see any overly abusive spots for tanks. Like, this is going to be tricky, but it's up to the Zerg to try and defend it. I assume tanks won't hit from here. Maybe they'll hit here, but in TVT, I assume you're just gonna learn to put your production up here. Speaking of TVT, well, it seems like such a long rush distance. Early tank pushes that try to hit the natural. It's not that bad. I don't know. Can't answer any other questions other than these are the new maps. I like this map. What's it called? Curious Minds. Small map. This is a smaller map. It doesn't feel like it's smaller, but with major tension around 2 low ground expansions. Curious Minds for controls on Naga. 3 laner expansions. Open low ground 4th. Vision is most important. Alright. Don't chew on ice. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. I do like the aesthetics. So this is Pride of Alteris. It's really bad for your teeth, dude. I don't care. Everything's bad for you. I'm gonna continue breathing oxygen even though it's slowly poisoning me. That's what dentists are for, exactly. Next, you're gonna be telling me to put down the soda. Speaking of which, I'm gonna smoke. Alright, so this is the Pride of Alteris. Did it make it into... Made it into freestyle category. Large size map, set part of one of the 3 ancient arc ships. 4 terrain levels, 6 expansion mines, gold mines, 8 pieces of gold mineral patches. It says mines. Okay, I'm guessing it just means minerals. It's just being silly. Yeah, it is, okay. Okay, so first we got, let's go with Protoss first. So on Protoss, I'm doing my thing. I take my natural. I wall off on the high ground. There's a ramp this time. Thanks, Albino Rhino. And then, oh, I got 2 high ground locations to take my 3rd base. Both of them fairly easy to take. This one would have this choke to work with. This one would have this choke and this choke, but I think you could also deal with that pretty well. Then you have a pretty easy 4th and 5th by the looks of things. Or a 5th and 6th even. I doubt you're going to be trying to expand down here until much later into the game. Okay, so very macro-oriented map. And then if I'm facing a Zerg player, who probably 3rd, 4th, 4th, 3rd doesn't really matter, I think. So I'm trying to do some type of push, which, you know, Stargates, but whatever. I was trying to do a push. Is this impassable? No, there's a middle. Are those sight blockers? There's a Zelnaga in the middle, so I think these are sight blockers. So I would go through. Take the Zelnaga. And then, well, I mean, no matter where I push, it's going to be up a ramp. That can be okay, though. You can use this, you know, to even abuse and scare the Zerg, actually. But then the Zerg's going to have plenty of opportunities to set up some type of surround. Or run by. Ooh. Yeah? If I'm Zerg and I'm doing some early game push, I guess it's still gonna be closer going this way. Well, you can see the link if you guys want to go look at the Imgur album. It's right up here. If I push through here, yeah, there's only one choke to work with. To go around this. I am actually afraid this is too defensible. This seems like a map that's guaranteed to give us a lot of long games, and not necessarily the best long games. Triangle base is hard to defend. This one. This was the third. No, we don't know the rush distances. Well, it seems like this might be the right idea anyways for a third base. How about Terran? I think we could take either one. Kind of depends on where the Zerg's taking theirs. Huh. Where would Zerg take theirs? Zerg takes the third there. Then the Terrans could take their third there. And then push through here. Maybe even siege a tank down here. And you'd have this choke. I assume this is a choke right here, because the Zelnaga is in the middle. This is a bit of a choke right here. Isn't base below best third to defend with tanks? Typically with TVZ, we're not necessarily talking about defending. We're talking about being aggressive. We're talking about our pushes. So, you'll want a direct line of your attack from your third base so that your reinforcements are also around your third in case the Zerg does any type of run-bys. Now, if the Zerg player plays roaches, then it is different. So if a Zerg player is playing roaches, then yeah, you probably want to take this as your third. The zombie Ross emoji. Yeah. It's the first time I'm using this epic pen thing. It feels so fancy. If we're talking about a TVZ, Ling Bane, doing a tank push or Widowmine push, this seems like it'd be good. Then you wall off here. I mean, they could still make it over here, but that's fine. And then what happens if we take the other third as the Zerg? And then the Terran takes this. Still pretty short distance. Doesn't look like tanks can siege up anywhere close to hitting the base. Obviously, we can hit the reinforcements. It's going to be difficult for Zerg players to get a good concave or surround on the armies, no matter where they're pushing. It's not exactly a super open field, or at least doesn't look that way. It might be, though. It might be a super open field. Command center's like that big. Like that big. It's not as bad as I was imagining. They're supporting up to 8 different levels. Why are we never seeing maps that have that? Well, one, we haven't really had that many new maps. I'm sure there's people who are experimenting with maps who do it. Two, it's probably not a big reason to. I'm not the person to ask. Ask the map makers. And then when they come back and say, we tried it and the pro gamers hated it, then you have your answer. Map news is real. I am, maybe another map that's okay for Terran. Can't imagine a lot of run-bys being annoying. even around here. Like, tons of pathways for run-bys, but I don't really like the looks of this map for PvZ. It doesn't give me good feelings. I don't want a Super Turtle game. Glittering Ash. That's a name. And it wasn't in the map pool? The map contest? Nope. Don't know where this one came from. Start off with Protoss. Okay. My bad. Protoss. Protoss takes the natural. And then this looks like a really huge map. The hell? They were in the TLMC? I didn't see it listed. Am I just blind? Is it called something different? Was it Sanguinite? They didn't make it onto the list, but they were candidates for the list. Okay, well, that's very specific. What is it called? Glittering Ash. Oh, it's not here. I don't know. Well, if you guys want to link me to it, then link me to it. But otherwise, I don't care. Not taking the aesthetics? I think the aesthetics are right. It just looks like a really big map. So third base is... It looks like a bit of a walk. Alright, where do you take it? What is this Zerg doing? Natural. Third. I mean, you could go either way in the fourth. This seems like a really big map. What the fuck? Even if you, like, the Protoss took this third and then try to do an attack, it seems like it's quite a journey. Blocked, go up here, around here, then you attack the Zerg. Fourth, maybe. Not even guaranteed, so it's even more of a pathway. This is gonna be a hike. No Gusta. Yeah, it does. Feels like a 4-player map. It's huge. This map might be conducive to muta flybys. It doesn't seem like there's too much space in the back, but the muta's attacked in through here, bounced around, maybe. Well, I think they can go back here, actually. They do get stuck, though. The vibe of Turbo Cruise. Kind of remember that map. Kind of. Won't be too bad to hold 5 bases as toss. That sounds terrible, though. No offense, Protoss players. No offense. But this Imgur map's kind of useless to me, though. Thank you for it, of course. But this doesn't go into any type of detail or have any zoom-ups, close-ups. That's what mostly I'm looking at this one for, so... Some Tempest abuse? I mean, I guess, but... I'm not sure we're too worried about that. It's just, it's humongous. It is humongous. So Terran takes the natural. Tries to push into a Zerg. Who might have... No, it's not my best end. Then... Again, they take their third here, I guess. And I guess their fourth? I don't even know. And then maybe Terran responds to taking this. I mean, this isn't too bad. Seems like a hike, though. and then if they don't take their third there, fourth rather. Could they even take it over there? It's so far away. Then there might be, but then they have plenty of time to buy time. There's a couple different angles here. You can break down these rocks. The last map also had gold bases, so I didn't really highlight that, but... And then the Terran, I guess, might just continue down one pathway. I don't know. This map's so huge that it might... You take your fourth here, or would you just take, like, aggressive bases? Fuck you. You drop tanks between the natural and the third. Drop tanks? I don't... What? Here? I don't think so. I mean, if you're TVZ, you should never get this close to the natural anyways, or the main base. You do a push... Oh, I guess this way? This way? Tanks can go here. Xerxes has a lot of angles, though. I don't like how big this map is. It's my only statement on it so far. There's maybe some interesting things to play with in the middle. But it seems like a really big map with a decent amount of chokes. And last is Hardwire. Protoss to natural. Third base. Choke it here. And then... fourth base? The new Beckett. Is it short? Also apparently not here. How do you attack? Boop, boop. Rocks in the middle. Impassable. Oh, but there's also an attack back here. Oh, I didn't even see that initially. Okay, that's maybe a bit different. It's more annoying, for sure. For the Protoss. But it's such a far... I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to be... It's good for run-bys. I don't think it'd be bad for attack. This is a weird map. But maybe in a good way, I don't know. Well, I think you want to defend this for us from the Terran attack that goes here? Because you don't want to let the Terran get this close without being interrupted. The rocks are a real bother. If you go this way as a Terran player, you're just gonna get surrounded. This one's gonna be hard to find the right attack angle. Especially if you take if this is a decent-sized map, and the Terran's busy walking around. So walks this way, then has to go kind of to the far side of the map to even progress to this base. Zerg has a lot of time to set up run-bys, or just cutting off reinforcements. It's gonna take them a while for sure, but they have the speeder units. That's a trip right there. I mean, I wonder if Terran's better off just directly trying to take down these rocks. Then their push is kind of here, and the Zerg players defend from here. Yeah. Might be best just take down the rocks. Give you the cannon spots. We can't zoom in that much. I have no idea how cannon rush is going to work. You get a TVT. Siege up here. Doesn't hit too much. Up here doesn't hit too much. That's fine. Again, no natural ramp. How many maps have had a ramp at the natural? Feels like one. Alright, so... no ramp at the natural. Ramp at the natural. Ramp at... okay, 2. Ramp at the natural. No ramp at the natural. No ramp at the natural. Okay. 2 out of 5. Hey, that's not bad. Thought it was 1 out of 5. This is gonna be confusing, but doesn't mean I don't like it. This seems too big. I don't think I'm gonna like this map. And this seems way too defensible. I don't think I'm gonna like this map at all. This seems... I guess they're kind of going for Eternal Empire, right? You know, the aesthetic kind of matches it, and the fact that everything's on the... a lot of your bases are on the high ground. And Eternal Empire did give us a lot of really good games, to be fair. But... right now, in the meta that we have with Protoss versus Zerg, I'm really worried. This is just going to be super boring. But PvZ isn't the only matchup, so that seems unfair to judge it entirely off of that matchup. And otherwise, this seems good for TVZ. Berlin Grad seems good for TVZ. This one's fine. I like Heroes Mines. I don't like this one for TVZ, I think. And I'm gonna pay more attention. Ah. Generally, Terrans get the benefit of new maps anyways for the first month. Just being, they figure out the attack spots before the other races figure out how to defend those attack spots. But, you know, this map pool was Terran favored, the one we're in right now. So it's possible. I just know that the first wave of complaints is going to be around abusive tank spots, maybe abusive liberator spots, and maybe they'll have to fix some cannon rush stuff. Couldn't tell you. One of these maps had a gold base, but I don't think many others did. I know I read that there was a gold base, but now I'm looking and I don't even see them. There's one. Okay, gold. So gold on Pride of Alteris. Not gold, just doodads. No golds. No golds, and no. So only golds on one mount. There's no contest anymore, Stormgod. These are officially the maps going to be in the ladder map pool. The TLMC finished a while ago, actually. But winning the TLMC doesn't mean that you're going to be in the map pool. I think that's a bit of miscommunication or assumption. You can win the map contest and everyone says, oh, it's amazing, it's fantastic. And then Blizzard could just be Debbie Downers and say, no. And we're going to stay with 2,000 atmospheres and Blackburn. And then Beckett Industries is an error. They're not gonna be... They've been updated? Nope. Yeah, it's an error. Alright, so what is the community saying on this?
Twitch Prime sub received.
Boom sauce, thank you for the 4 months.
The Overmind.
Witness me. Also, thank you Kamikaze for earlier for the full year resub. Take the safest possible path, didn't choose anything new and different. I mean, not really different. They don't have all the strange things that we could have seen, but I feel as far as terrain and pathing goes, I do think there's at least 2 maps that I look at as being different. I think pathing-wise, Glittering Ash is going to be obnoxious, and so is Hardwire. I think those are 2 different maps from the current set we have. Pride of Alteris is 4 terrain levels, so that's the first time we're going to be seeing that. I don't know how much that's really going to affect gameplay. I agree. As far as picking non-finalists has happened in the past, it's not uncommon. There you go. Don't know what the updated 2000 atmosphere means, by the way, but they made sure to write updated there, so we'll find out. Grad looks like Port Alexander. Yeah, we knew that. Alright, well, I'm not disappointed. I don't know if I have the capacity of being disappointed anymore, though, when it comes to new maps. I feel like as long as we get new maps, I'm pretty happy. Which is a low bar. But I don't remember the last time I truly hated a map pool. I think the last time I hated a map and a map pool was maybe when, was it Blood Boil or something like that was in the map pool? The one where you both spawn on the left. I think that's the last time I really cared about map pools. But that does it. We've looked over the maps. And eventually we're going to get into the games once they're in the ladder. We'll play on them, so I think they're coming into the ladder on the 19th. Next Tuesday. There's something broken, like a 1 pylon cannon wall that doesn't get fixed in 2 months, be disappointed. I suppose, yeah. I don't think I'd care enough. Basically, I mean, what's the point of caring? It is what it is.